Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith. This is the IMDb studio at Acura Festival Village. And look, it's the cast and crew of Worth. Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen. Now, my excited presentational voice I have to bring down because this is a very dramatic picture, isn't it? Walk us through it, Sarah. What is this about?
You know, the movie's called Worth, and it's a film about the 9/11 Victim Compensation Fund, which was a fund in the aftermath of 9/11 that compensated victims and victims' families. It's a really important, historical moment in the United States, in United States history, and it's something that very few people know about. With regard to 9/11, it's sort of a
when I read the
niche
description, I was
topic
like, I had no
yeah.
idea that this was a thing, but of course it had to be a thing.
Yeah.
Source material is based on a book, correctly?
It is. It's based on Ken Feinberg's memoir, What Is Life Worth? And Ken is here.
If only we could talk to Ken.
Yes.
Ken, you actually lived this. Take us through how does that happen? How did they arrive at you to be like, okay, you're going to be the person who decides what a human life is worth after this major cataclysm?
A very unique law. 13 days after 9/11, the attacks, Congress passed a special law creating this fund. And the law invited anybody who was injured, physically injured on 9/11, World Trade Center, the Pentagon, the airplanes, or anybody who lost a loved one, could file voluntarily with this fund. And over a 33-month period, Camille Byros, my colleague, and I, we paid out $7.1 billion in taxpayer money to 5,300 people. And what was striking about the fund, particularly today, when you look back, it was apolitical. There were no Republicans, Democrats, liberals, conservatives, red state, blue state. Everybody came together in this country. And to see the film now depict what was then in terms of consensus among the American people, it's just fantastic. I doubted for many years whether a film could ever really bring to life the book that I wrote, the memoir. But I must say, thanks to Sara and the team, it is a magnificent effort to really get at the heart of the 9/11 fund.
This is a banal question, but what is it like for two real people to see themselves depicted in a motion picture?
An unbelievably out-of-body experience, quite frankly.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
As these events were unfolding, you weren't sitting there going, I wonder who's going to play me one day. Probably weren't thinking there'd be a movie at all.
Especially Batman, I never thought much.
Yes, good Lord, Batman and Birdman played you, for heaven's sakes. What was it, how emotional was it to watch it for the first time?
We have not seen the entire film yet.
Really?
We
So
have
you're going to
not.
see it up here?
We for the first time tonight, yes.
We've seen parts of it, director's cut of it, but we haven't seen the finished product.
Oh my God, how thrilling. You play her, Amy.
I attempt to.
What is it like when you have to play someone who's real and they're also really still here and stuff? So they could check you and be like, that ain't me at all.
You're right. Well, I started with, kind of a superficial thing. I quickly dyed my hair very dark because I was like, I always love a good excuse. But Camille was so generous. We met before we started filming, and we shared some emails together. But I guess I give myself permission. Like, I know I'm never going to actually fool anybody that I am Camille Byros, but it's just trying to bring an energy or a sensibility to what these two remarkable people did in the early days after 9/11. So I tried to recreate that as best.
Were you, do you remember where you were when 9/11 happened?
Oh, yeah, I was home in the West Village in New York.
You were in New York at the same time?
Sitting on my couch, stunned. So that's what struck me so much about this script is just that there were people forward-moving, mobile, doing something so productive when I couldn't pretty much get out the door.
Yeah.
So that's what really inspired me about this script and their lives.
Tucci, you a New Yorker?
Yes, yes.
Into the mic. Yep.
I'm sorry, yes. I've never done this before.
First time. Let me walk you through
sorry,
press.
yeah.
Were you in the city when September 11th happened?
I was heading into the city. I was actually had been living in Westchester, lived in Westchester for a long time. I was heading into the city. I got off at, 125th Street and caught the next train out because I had a feeling that it wasn't going to be good.
Right.
It seemed to me that what was happening was that they were bombing, they were targeting places of significance. So I thought, I think I'm not going into Grand Central. So I got on the next train out. As it turns out, that was the last train out of New York. I got as far as North White Plains, rented a car with some guy who was supposed to have gone into the towers that day. He was late because of a dentist appointment, and we rented a car. I dropped him off at his house in Chappaqua, and then I drove to my house.
Good Lord. You play a real person in this as well. Did you meet the person that you
I
played?
did not, no.
What is it like when somebody's like, it's one thing when they're like, hey, be in the Hunger Games and be this guy. What is it like when somebody's like, be this real person who existed?
It's great. I mean, to be able to do both is a joy. A joy. That's what you and also the story was so important and so compelling. And again, I really had no idea of the complexity of it. So it was incredibly satisfying to be a part of it. Very very proud to be a part of it.
Tate, who are you playing?
I play I represent a bunch of lawyers, basically a corporate lawyer who is a little combative with.
You're the asshole, don't want to give anybody any money?
I'm the asshole who wants wealthy people to get more money.
Right.
But he's not an asshole.
Right.
It was, I just read the script and I was just so psyched to be part of this cast. I mean, this cast is some of the best actors alive, and this story is so compelling and fantastic, so I'm psyched.
You a New Yorker or no? Were you there?
I just left. Actually, September 8th, I took a flight from Newark to LA, and I was like, geez, 3 days, could have been me very easily.
I was a Jersey kid. I was in Los Angeles. My mother woke me up and like, they're attacking. I'm like, who's attacking? And she turned on the TV, and I saw those buildings my whole life growing up because we grew up across the bay from it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden to watch them go down was chilling. Laura,
Yeah.
you are definitely a New Yorker, aren't you?
Yeah,
I
I'm
know
a New
you
Yorker.
from the theater work and stuff. Were you
Yeah.
there when it happened?
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
And?
I remember my mom was calling me and I was ignoring her because she's my mom. And then finally I picked up the phone and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course I'm okay." And I looked out the window and I saw people walking in the middle of the street covered in dust in their suits and their briefcases that they looked like zombies. And I lived on 63rd and Broadway, so they had walked all the way. Yeah. I was born in New York. I'm a Jersey kid. I was raised in Jersey, so I remember too, like, going home, because my parents were like, "You're gonna come home now," going home to Jersey, and just the cars still in the parking lots, the commuters who never came home.
Right.
And the significance of it. And, what this film does so beautifully, I think, we're in a divisive time. I don't think that that's news or anything people don't know. And so to watch this movie, to see people come together with so much unity, it's really aspirational, I think, to what we have been and what we can be again. So I'm really grateful to be a part of it.
Everything you said is beautiful, but at the same time, I'm like, it's both Supergirl's mom and Melania at the same time.
I'm both of those things.
I know, yeah.
I'm
One
her
person
mom,
can encapsulate.
I'm her evil aunt. Don't forget I played
remember
twins.
that as well, yes.
Don't forget I played twins. I acted with myself, the best scene partner I've ever had. And also I play Melania Trump. Don't get mad at me, Utah. Thank you.
Ken and Camille, on a serious note, how does one calculate the worth of a human life?
Calculating lives is not a particularly difficult assignment. Judges and juries, courts all over the nation, they do it every day. And what would the victim have earned over a work life but for the tragedy? Pain and suffering equals a dollar value. It's been rather traditional for hundreds of years in this country. The tough part is the emotion. When you offer to meet with any victim who survived, or any surviving family member, you better brace yourself. Anger, frustration, disappointment, lives just ripped apart, ripped asunder. And that part of the job, the emotional overhang of dispensing taxpayer money is absolutely debilitating, and that's the most difficult part, and that's the part that in the film that I saw, the director's cut. I don't know how Sara did it, but you get that impact, the emotional impact, which really transcends dollars and cents.
You were here in 2018 with Kindergarten Teacher. You're a Sundance kid now, for heaven's sakes.
I guess so.
Yeah. What does it feel like to come back with more important work, for heaven's sakes?
I mean, it's thrilling. It doesn't get old. It's always an honor. You know, the lineup this year looks amazing, so I'm so happy to be a part of it. And it's gratifying to have a sort of bigger movie with the cast that I have, who I'm just so grateful for. You know, I didn't have to really direct too much with this group. Like, I just stayed out of everyone's way because your instincts are so incredible. But it's always a joy. The work is a joy, and then coming here to show it is incredible. So.
And Sarah's being modest a sec. Didn't you win the directing award here a couple of years ago?
I did, yes. I did.
All right, so you're like, yeah, directing's fun. You're an award winner, man. They ask us a bunch of questions to give to you guys. We're gonna go real quick through them. Everybody answer speed round. Ready? A prop you wish you stole from set. Go.
Shoot.
Don't say sorrow.
Oh gosh, it's a good one.
Thank you, Laura.
There was a Mont Blanc pen that we gave, that we gave Ken, that we gave Michael Keaton. I would have liked that.
You would have liked it, but you didn't steal it.
I did not steal it.
Good lady.
I would have liked my costumes. She's a classy dresser.
Fair enough. Tooch.
Oh gosh, I have no idea.
Doesn't even have to be this set.
Really?
Any set.
Oh, any set.
Anything.
Oh, any
Prop
set.
you stole from.
Oh,
wish you
any
stole,
set.
Wish you stole from any set.
Oh, Captain America's shield.
That is a good pull. On a side note, I've read that they're going to do What If. Are you coming back as Samuel Erskine?
I don't know.
Come on, you know.
No, I don't know.
Really?
I swear. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you are.
All right.
Because they're doing an episode where they did What If Peggy Carter was Captain America instead. So you have to set that up.
Right.
You got a job coming. I just
thank
told you
God.
that. I'm like your agent. I'll take 10%, man, right
Going
there.
broke. Yeah.
Laura?
Yes, all the guitars I played in Nashville.
Nice.
All of them.
You got a great voice too, man. We should have said
Thanks.
that. Well done.
Yeah.
Tate, what do
Glad
you
you
wish
got
you'd
there.
stolen?
There was a piece of a plane of a B-17 in Memphis Belle. It had the star on. It was from the real B-17 that had been taken off, and Billy Zane got it.
I feel like you could get it back.
Yeah,
You think
really.
so?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna ask.
I think you put it on eBay last week, so you might be able to.
That's what I was headed to.
And you guys probably didn't even get to go to set, so you probably couldn't have stole something. So I'm going to ask you a different question. What is one movie that you feel everyone should see? Starting with you, Ken.
Oh, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh, excellent pull, man. And so fast. You didn't even think. You were like, bam.
It's one of my favorites.
Well done. Camille?
Roman holiday.
Oh, excellent pull.
good.
You hear that, people? Roman Holiday. Tate?
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes. Brilliant choice. Of course, always makes us feel good.
There's a movie called Worth. So that one.
Done and done. Tooch?
Oh God, this is so terrible. Duck Soup.
Right on. Look at you, man. In your head, you're going, I got to go classy too. Duck Soup is a good pull. Aim?
Young Frankenstein.
Oh, excellent movie. And then
I'm going Italian. Knights of Cabiria.
Knights of Kabir. Really? Why?
I don't know,
Personal?
I think it has like one of the most beautiful endings in cinema. I don't know. I love it, and I love her. She's.
And that's coming from a real bona fide award-winning director. Give it up for the cast and crew of Worth, ladies and gentlemen.